we've had the Park hotels, which is our traditional downtown luxury boutique properties across India. And one of the things that I was looking at is creating a collection, which we call the Park Collection, of small 20 to 40 room boutique properties, which were in unique destinations or nature-oriented hotels. So in that we already have 2 hotels opened, both are in Goa, and they're 30 rooms each. And when this opportunity came up, and I've always been interested and passionate about heritage and heritage conservation, and the government of West Bengal bid this hotel out. It ran as a hotel in 1786. So we're very, very honored that we've got this opportunity to run this. I think it's quite a landmark property which nobody really knew about for, I don't know, maybe 100 years plus. I mean, it's just gone. So there's been a lot of conservation done by the Danish government and the West Bengal government, and now we're in just doing the interior design, and I'm going to create something that's contemporary but yet very well rooted in the history of that space. Yes, so we have another one. We took another palace on lease in Chettinad, and Chettinad is in deep down south of India. And again, this was a region that has been, there's some palatial homes and mansions really in that whole area. A lot of them belong to families, a lot of them were just kind of like, some of them are just ghost towns. So we've been again, been pursuing that for many years, and that's another one. We've opened a small cafe and event space in one of the older buildings, and the larger palace is under conservation and renovation right now, and we should open that with about 21 rooms and suites in, I think, the early 2020. So as you may know, India, of course, has this massive population, 1.3 billion, and travelers encompass every class of travel, from people who travel by bus or people who go by trains or private jets, and all types of hotels. And I think as India gets wealthier, people start from maybe visiting and staying with friends and family, then they go into a branded hotel, or then they go to a simpler hotel at a more complex or a 6-star palace. So we have all those already in India. But because the demographics are so large, and because people's aspirations keep on changing and growing, there is growth in every single market, 2-star, 3-star, 4-star. So for a long time we were talking about, where do we go and what should we do? Because not all the parks can be in every tier 2 and tier 3 city in the country, and there are about 65 to 100 of them that are really fast growing cities. So we created a brand that had the essence of the park, but in a simpler fashion, and it was something that we actually marketed to developers and to high net worth individuals who wanted to invest in hotels. And this is a complete management contract model. It's a rollout across many cities. We have 9 of them have opened as of today, and we have a few more in the pipeline, and I hope that will be about 25 or so in the next year and a half. Well, there's always an opportunity for the park, and I think even with the Zone by the Park brand, which is, now we've really understood the essence of what appeals to a different generation of hospitality. And I must say that Zone by the Park is not just like a simple cookie cutter hotel, even though it's done by cookie cutter. It's very vibrant, it has a great F&B, and it's not just rooms. So it's rooms plus F&B, and that's what we feel that the Asian market and the Indian market needs. So I do see that brand could be in other cities in Asia first. I think it's easier to manage and operate in your own sphere. As far as the park goes, I think it could be anywhere, and London is always a good bet. I really got into hospitality by accident. Didn't study hoteliering. So I think in the first year or two when I did get into the hospitality business, I just learned by doing and learned by asking. And I think it's a great business for a creative person. And I think for me that was a really good balance. Now that I look at my lifetime career. In our hotels, we of course try to give that similar type of education to our management trainees and other people. We want them to be very creative. We want them to have a variety of experiences, not just room revenue driven stuff. Of course, that's what drives in all the money, and that's what they do and they're trained to do well. But it's also the creativity part and running a club and running a bar and making sure that your restaurant is the most happening restaurant in the whole city. So and part of that is by giving all these young people the opportunities to be creative, the opportunities to learn many things. So at our hospitality school, the management training program incorporates all these different types of learning. So it's not just learning room revenue, it's learning F&B, creativity, how to market a restaurant, and doing more kind of creative and fun things in their student experience in the Center of Hospitality. And similarly, our our other training programs that happen in each of the cities reflect on those values. We just don't want to create people who are just one-dimensional.